All right, here with strength and conditioning coach Joe Walker. And Coach Walker, good summer. We've got about a week left until training camp. How have you felt the summer has gone for the guys and where they're at as we head into camp?
Uh, I think probably the first most important is just where they're at mentally is probably the most important thing. We've got a really long summer here, where month of May for us is actually optional, and we get about 99% attendance. And that really helps them out. It sets a good tone for June, July, where we can actually start tapering a little bit better in July, as opposed to a lot of schools got to work up really to camp just to make sure they've got that good base of conditioning and strength levels in. Or here is actually we've just got done tapering and doing some vertical tests and broad jump tests, and they actually get a week off before camp. So mentally, they're at a place where they can go into camp knowing that it's time to go. It's not just okay. They haven't even had a break yet. So mentally is one big aspect where the guys have done a good job.
Something I don't know that's ever been asked of you when we've done this. What's your take on higher ground? Getting out there. I know it's obviously not the same as getting this facility, but they do have a weight room out there and getting the guys away for a couple weeks and being all football for that time.
I think the best part of higher ground for us is recovery. We can bring them back in 30-minute sessions, and it's not like they're coming from their home or got to drive back in. It's just a walk across the parking lot for them, where we can foam roll them, bench, stretch them, active mobility, cold tub them. Not per se always going to be a lift or a workout, if you will, but a lot of it is maybe an every other day recovery session. So that aspect, it's really well. Supplements and hydration and all the things that go into recovery are just readily available for them. They're not carrying a case of shakes home. We've got 4 refrigerators sitting out there they can open up anytime. We've got anywhere from uh, Gatorades to protein shakes to Adwala shakes. We've got a huge snack table for them where it's open to them 24/7. So in that aspect too, I really like it. It works out really well for them beneficially. It's tough for them, but it works out well from our standpoint. Workout wise, they do a really good job of having stuff already up there for us. We've got 6 benches, 2 huge cages. We've got a plethora of Olympic weights, Olympic bars, tons of just regular, your general fitness equipment. Or a lot of stuff that we do is a lot of bodyweight stuff recovery. Anyways, we're not trying to max out squats and bench and deadlifts and power clean. So
During camp?
yeah, we don't do that too much. But our guys do a good job of getting done what they need to get done out there and understanding the situation we're in. So it works out really well.
All right, we're going to break this into 2 parts. First part offense. Take a break, come back. Second part defense. I know when we do these things, everybody wants offensive line sizes. How are the guys coming along that offensive line? The one that surprised me, I talked to Coach Grimes yesterday. Reed Armagast is not skinny anymore.
He's not fat either.
No,
Sure.
but he's not a tight end anymore.
Yeah, he's up to 285 pounds. He's had a really good summer. We just did some verticals and broads, and they were just under his numbers when he was 240, 250 pounds. So he's done a really good job of putting the right type of weight on. It got him a little bit when we started our general conditioning, but he's definitely acclimated a little bit better than we started. Attitude's been great about it. He's going to be a good player for us in the future, and he'll continue to grow and get bigger and stronger.
Ryan Stout, final year. Just got a lot expected from him at that left tackle spot.
Yeah, he's steadfast above 295 for Stout, and where he came in again, a 250-pound person, he's done a good job putting the weight on. Phenomenal attitude, coachability, strength. He loves the weight room. Does a very good job nutrition-wise in keeping himself above 295.
One guy I saw at camp last Friday that looked pretty impressive to me, Idarius Ray.
Idarius changed his body. So when he got here, ID was a 335-plus pound person. And so the first year we really spent on just breaking him down, get him in shape. And we called it Tour de France. He rode so much bikes and just to keep the pressure off his knees and joints from running because he was so big. This year he's really, he's hovering around his 310, 315. We got him done last year, but much more muscular. Joints feel better, knees, ankles, hips, lower back. He's had a really good off season.
Corey Cunningham.
Corey's one of those guys that came in like 237 pounds.
Yeah.
He's been through 2 years of redshirt workouts because he's got that tenacity. He's got the want to get bigger and stronger, and work ethic is second to none. He's weighing at 315 right now. Corey's does a really good job of understanding the weight room and things he needs to get better. And he's come a tremendous way. Just a great person.
Delonte Murray off the juice. And by juice, meaning juice drinks like Gatorade, because remember he had that.
Yeah, he does. Delonte Murray's had a really good offseason. Last year he used to struggle making his times. He's made all his conditioning times this year. He's biggest thing for us was making sure we got his footwork cleaned up a little faster. I think he's done a really good job of that as well. And then just another really good person. Works hard for you. Extremely coachable. Phenomenal person to coach.
You want to get a pause from a strength and conditioning coach, ask him if one of his guys is off the juice.
Yeah, that's what? Yeah.
Gatorade. That was the thing, right? When he came in, right?
Gatorade, and it's just obviously way too much excess sugar. It was abundant for him coming from Drew College here.
Yeah.
But he does a good job. He understands what we're trying to do now.
The man in the middle, Deshaun Bond.
Bond, good summer. Sticks around 295, but he power cleaned 315 for the first time for him, and really good technique for him. Upper body's got stronger. His numbers went through the roof yesterday. Leadership has really stepped up his game. He's a 4-year starter.
Right.
He's such a good person. I let him watch my kids. He's such a good person. He is definitely the heart and soul of that offensive line. Does a good job.
Will Sturr, another one I haven't touched on yet.
Sturr has done a good job as far as honing in the weight room. This wasn't one of his strong points in the last couple of years. He's done a much better job as trying to make this a stronger point, because it used to be a pretty big weakness for him. But he's really gotten a lot better at it.
Gotten some questions about Garrett Campbell, how he's adjusted. I know he was a big.
Garrett's
big
always been
size,
strong.
yeah.
Always been a strong person. Garrett came in with a knee issue when he first got here, so his deficit was his lower body, and I really think he's attacked. He saw some light at the end of the tunnel for Garrett, where he has a chance to play this year and be a really big contributor this year and next year. So that's helped him a lot. Just another really solid. They've done a great job recruiting character here, and it makes it fun.
Thinking of anybody I missed on the offensive line that's had a good summer?
Leahy.
Yeah.
Leahy really stepped up, sitting about 295. Leadership's a really quality. He used to be such a quiet kid. He's done a much better job being more vocal, being positive. Weight room wise, he came in. Might have been 240, 250 pounds when we first got here. Lower body strength was one thing that he got. It's the best I've ever seen him squat and pull from the floor this year. Really dialed in. Leahy's had a good offseason.
All right, tight end. Interesting group, because you got the two veterans and then all young guys.
Yeah, you talk two veterans. You got Dowdy,
Yeah.
who's a veteran, obviously. Dowdy's consistent. Dowdy's going to come work every day, get things to get done. He's a good leader for that group. Has been there, done that. Cogswell is probably the other veteran you talked about, but he's really not.
Right.
In
years,
but for us, he is. Cogswell has went from, that typical quarterback high school kid and really transformed and getting a lot stronger lower body, upper body wise. Limited some flexibility, but Cogswell is probably top 5 most come in for extra guy. Does a really good job coming and getting extra.
And then you've got Elfers, Degura, LaBelli, Doug Bates.
You got a bunch of young guys.
The young group, yeah.
They work hard. We do a best worker, worst worker every day, and I would say all 3 of those have had their share of best workers. They put their head down and they go. So they learn from the other guys on how to work hard. 'Cause if you don't, they're gonna leave them behind. But they do a good job bringing you. They'll drag you. You're gonna come.
Worst worker. That's gotta be a rough day.
Yeah, it's a tough day. You really got to stand up and be a worst worker. But it's one of those things
you don't want.
You don't want. But you want to get to a point in time you go a best worker or worst worker. How much narrows that gap? Or is it really you a medium worker? Or you just slightly below him. You want to narrow that gap as much. And if it's something you just had a bad day, yeah, we've got an issue. But far and few between it that really happens.
Wide receiver. This is an interesting one. Let's start with the young guys.
As a group,
Yeah.
they've grown a ton. You looked at all your seniors last year. There was no leadership this year. Who was going to step up early on? Who's going to have the best work ethic early on? As everybody's kind of looking around, there's no neat leader like last year. They've stepped up as a group together. They really have. The work ethic is quite pleasantly surprising and good for that matter. Young guys, We're all young.
Well, the six newcomers.
The six newcomers.
The six newcomers. Gaddis, Malik Mudge, Marcel Paul, Jaron Rollins, and then Devin Gray and Tyron Summers.
Yeah, Tyron's is the youngest that came in early with,
Yeah.
with Devin Gray that came in. Pound for pound, really, really strong guys. Can run all day. Will continue to get stronger through their years here. They're going to be really productive players for us. Phenomenal attitude. Again, really good attitude. Your other true freshman, and I don't really consider Tyron a true freshman anymore because he's been here
Right.
anywhere. He knows the system. They did a great job recruiting them. They're long, they're athletic. You watch them with their footwork, attention to detail, starting on proper count, running through. They do a good job. They're going to be really good players for us. They can continue to progress and get stronger. They're going to be a good-looking group.
Devin was a surprise in terms of how well he performed at camp. Was that something you could see coming when you first got him?
It's nice that they send us their film too, and we get to watch them. And there was flashes of that in this film. There really was. Obviously, work ethic wise, for us, it's always a crapshoot because you don't know how hard they work.
Yeah.
And a lot of them is a lot of talent. You tell him to jump, he's going to say how high, and that's awesome. Like, he just wants to get better and feed off that. He's fun to coach.
Let's see, Khalil Lewis.
Khalil, second year here.
Yep.
Khalil came in with a great base, and he continues it. He is a strong, muscular receiver, and he's a physical receiver. He should be our physical receiver this year and continue that trend. Obviously talented, fast, loves being a receiver, loves lifting. He'll just continue to try to go up weight and go up weight and go up weight.
In the spring, they used him a lot, jet sweeps and screens. And is there a specific thing, like with a guy that they're going to use like that, you work on differently on quickness and the things that they're going to do, or is it all
No,
pretty
we
much
try to
static?
work on quickness when you're tired. So a lot of our quickness is kind of based in a fatigue state. So when you're tired, how quick are you? And that's generally across the board because in the game of football, you're pretty much always tired. So
Right.
you've got to be able to physically bust through that and mentally bust through that.
You mentioned the old man, Nate Cole.
Nate Cole. Done a good job. Nate's done a really good job of nutrition, trying to watch what he's eating, being his senior year. He is a 210-pound person. He's down to 202, so he's lost 8 pounds, really leaned up. Got to continue to get in shape. I mean, he's obviously, his hands are incredible. His biggest thing was working on his acceleration. And made a big sure that he can separate himself, and that was probably one thing he's worked on the best.
Is that one of the hardest things with guys? Nutrition?
Oh, yes.
Like, I know the running joke when Sean Kilpatrick was here that he literally lived on chicken fingers and french fries. Until his senior year, and then it finally, I mean, is that...
That's how it usually works. And then it's even funny because when they go away to their train for the combine, it gets even more serious.
Right.
And then they come back and they lose it. And I wish I would have done that 3 years ago.
I told you to.
Yeah, and it's tough, but they do a good job.
Deshaun Johnson, another one.
He's done a good job being a leader. He's been here a long time. He obviously does stuff really, really incredible with the ball in his hands. He's going to be a really special player for us in that aspect. The biggest thing is leadership. He's not the strongest guy, but when he says let's go, let's go. He's not going to fill up incredible numbers. His yardage is not wasted in conditioning. Rather wasted his yardage playing. But he does a good job being a leader, and that's come a long way since being a young kid when he first got here. So I'm proud of him for that.
2 transfer guys, Avery Peterson, Jamil Kamara. How are they ready to go for that first year?
Yes.
That they can actually play.
Yes. Jamil and Avery went through a redshirt season with us. No hiccups, no attitude. It's tough for guys who played, at a high level and come in and go through a redshirt with all these young kids. They took it on and did a great job. Great attitudes, great work ethic. They're going to be good players for us.
Braxton Neal.
Braxton's
Long, skinny guy. Is he starting to...
Yeah, he jumped through the roof. So really good. His biggest question mark was being in shape because of his shoulder, and it took him a while to get back. He's gotten back actually stronger than he was before his shoulder, and is back in good shape. So he should be good to go.
Running back, you got to be thrilled with having that group, with Tion Green and...
They're fun. Tion is... God, feels like he's older than me.
He's been here forever.
Tion is a strong, explosive. The biggest thing with Tion comes back to nutrition. He's gotten upwards of 240 plus pounds. He's sitting around at 225. Really valued his nutrition, helped him out a ton. Tion really became a great leader of this team. Being, he's gone his ups and downs here too. So he's been there, done that, and it's happened to him. And he's learned from it, trying to teach the young guys. He had a speech to our guys in the middle of the summer. Really hit home with a lot of guys, and him too, because he's been there. He was a really good leader for us this summer. Mike Boone.
You gotta love getting a guy that's a power lifter in high school, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't really. I mean, you call Mike Boone a powerlifter, but he's so explosive.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a 42-inch vertical, jumped 11.4, I think, broad jump. He's something special. The best part about Mike Boone is his coachability. He is yes sir, no sir. Pull your shoulder blades back. Your hips are too high. He's going to correct it. He doesn't already think. I mean, you think a guy who's got 11'4" broad jump and jumps 42, and you can put 6 plates on his back and he'll squat it. We don't ask him to. Somebody's that strong and that explosive. He is just as coachable today as when we first walked in.
2 guys behind them. Buckley's a tank.
Yeah, Buckley's tank. He's up 15 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, Buckley's had a good summer. Biggest compliment again, Buckley's finally in shape. He really struggled our first couple years here, getting in shape, summer conditioning. First time he's made all summer times this year. So that was big for Buckley. He's up 15 pounds. Strength levels are up. For Buckley, he's had a really good summer.
And then bench ball. I mean, obviously the shoulder is
good. Bench Bach has increased his bench press incline, increases power cleans, vertical one up, broad jump one up. Bench Bach's had a really good summer.
2 young guys, Boost and Holloman.
Boost and Holloman, you're looking at 2 young guys who are injured, trying to get them back. Comes back same as Braxton, trying to get them in shape. Holloman's a little further along. I believe he jumped a 39-inch vertical and 10-something broad jump. As far as being in shape wise, Boost has got some time to go as far as getting in shape and getting stronger. He's a little bit behind there. But both really good players for us.
And then Doak's the new kid. Getting him.
Dokes is explosive. I think he's a natural. You watch him do Olympic lifts and stuff. It's